All right. Hello and welcome to day 4 of the 6-figure course plan challenge. I'm super excited to get into it with you today. This is going to be one of the coolest days where we're actually going to see our course product come together and leverage all the great work we've done so far. So let me get my presentation going. So the whole goal here, we're almost done. We have one more day after today. The goal here is to create a crystal clear money-making course plan in just 5 days, 1 hour a day, so you can confidently launch your online course without wasting time or money. This is for subject matter experts with something to teach, people who want to generate more impact, more income, and freedom in their lives. I'm Chris Badgett, the CEO and co-founder of LifterLMS. We help lots of great subject matter experts like these fine folks we've introduced over the last couple of days. Today, we're going to be creating our actual course outline. So you can see that is day 4 here. And just to kind of briefly go over where we came from, phase 1 here, day 0 through 2, we committed to our success. We calendared the training that we're going to show up either live or on the replays. We made the decision to step into our power by finding our ikigai or meaning, or where our purpose and passion and skills and what the world needs all overlaps. We did the work of focusing on the learner avatar and figuring out who it is we're actually helping, especially the idealized version of that person, whether it's a earlier version of ourselves, a specific person that we actually know in real life, or a fictional character that kind of embodies the perfect attributes. Yesterday, we went over the winning offer, defining that. And today we're going to build on the winning offer to create the actual course outline. So let me jump down to that part. So yesterday, we figured out our offer. My course helps a certain target avatar get a specific result in a certain amount of time without the objections there. Today's all about creating your course outline. So this is really, in many ways, the crux of the whole journey, because if you've done the work to get to here, it's going to be much easier to create the course outline. And then once you have a course outline, even if you haven't made the course yet, you can actually go ahead and start selling it with a future start date. You've essentially built the skeleton of your product, your course product. So this is really where the rubber meets the road in terms of actually creating an online course. So the problem with course outlining is maybe you have what's known as the expert's curse and you don't know what to teach. You have all these ideas swimming around in your head. You have years or decades worth of experience. You're not really sure how to package that. And maybe you feel a little bit unorganized. And then to make matters worse, perhaps you don't even come from a teaching or management or leadership background, and you're just have no real clue on how to actually take what you know and teach it to somebody else. But here's my promise to you today. When we develop our winning course outline, you're going to know exactly what to teach. You'll stay organized, and you're going to have an instructional design system that you can use over and over again. I guarantee this is going to make making your future courses way easier. And what you're going to really culminate and walk away from today's training and the challenge is you're going to have a product. The hardest thing is to go from 0 to 1, 1 being product, no product to a product. And when you have that course outline, your product is really coming together. So you're going to learn today how to create your money attracting course outline in 1 hour, even if you've never taught anything before. And that's a bold promise, but we're going to help you create something known as a syllabus, which is a structured outline of the main points of a course or curriculum. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. This screen right here is your course outline. And after a decade in this industry, there's a few tricks I've learned on how to chunk down what your course offers to, the perfect outline. And just for geometry and simplicity's sake, I like to work in threes. So if we have 3 parts to our course and 3 lessons per part or section or phase or module or whatever you want to call it, you end up with a 9 lesson course. And just to kind of begin with the end in mind, once we're on a certain step, which is a lesson, within that step are various action items. So the action items are actually what you're going to teach in order to achieve that step. So let me back up and start with the most simple thing, which is our customer and the result they want. Remember, I'm going to go back to yesterday's training briefly here. The customer, your ideal learner, wants a specific result. Your course is the mechanism to help them get there. So what we're fleshing out in here is the mechanism to help them, your customer, get their result. So think of it like a 3-act play. If our customer could make 3 jumps, 1, 2, 3, to get the result, how would you bucket or organize those 3 phases? So I'm going to give you some examples here to help make it easy. I'm going to give 3 examples. One's going to be from business. So we're just looking at phases right now. So imagine I help people kind of like Angela Brown in our last example, whose target customer is an aspiring house cleaning entrepreneur who wants to start a house cleaning or maid business. So she helps them start and grow their companies. So if I was helping a certain kind of entrepreneur, I'd help them to, phase 1 would be create, launch, and scale. Like if I said it in just as few words as possible, create the business, launch the business, and then scale the business. Those would be my 3 phases to help somebody become an entrepreneur in a certain niche. And, within that creation phase, phase 1, step 1 might be to choose your business name. Step 2 might be set up all legal and banking. Step 3 might be to actually create the business website. So these are like the create stage. And then the launch stage would be like marketing activities about doing advertising or going door to door or getting referrals. And then scaling might be about building a team, creating automation, and the last one might be something about opening new geographies or something like that. And within each of those steps, I could then teach, okay, well, here's how you set up your in step 2, I said set up legal and banking. So here's how you set up legal and banking, and just go through action item 1, go register your business here. Step 2 is go to the bank with these documents and open separate business accounts and so on. So you see how I'm chunking down from the customer to the result through 3 phases, 9 steps, and really however many action items are required to complete a step is what it's all about. That's how it works. And the 9 is also super helpful. Sometimes people end up building like this huge, massive, giant course that's a little overwhelming. So maybe if your course is getting too big, maybe it actually needs to be 2 courses or something like that. And just to give you a couple more examples, from the customer to the result going through phases, if I was in a fitness or strength training niche, phase 1 might be around endurance. Let's say I'm doing some kind of body weight training system that you install so that you become like 10 times stronger. Week 1 may be about endurance. Week 2 may be about strength, or phase 2 be about strength. Phase 3 might be around flexibility. So there's, we could teach, our phases could map out like that. If we were doing some kind of relationship coaching or a course about, let's call it the soulmate attraction method, our phases might be, inner game, outer game, field game. So inner game would be like working on your mindset. Outer game would be, working on just your fitness and your fashion or whatever. I'm not a relationship coach, by the way, so I'm just making this up. And phase 3 might be actually teaching you how to go out into the world and do dating more successfully and, have better success with finding somebody who's a good fit for you. So that would be a phased approach. And another example I have for you today of how this works is actually what you're in right now. So I'm following, this is a challenge, but it's also a course. So I'm literally following this framework. My 3 phases here are, structured in days because it's a challenge. So it's meant to provide a lot of value really fast over a short number of days. So day 0 through 2, day 3 through 5, and then bonuses. So I have my 9 bonuses there, and or my 9 steps there inside the 3 phases. Now, if I go to the actual step level, when it's time to commit to success, I had 3 action items in that training. 1 was to calendar the training, 2 was to commit to taking action, and 3 was to set your course launch date. When we did step into our power, we had 3 steps, or 3, when we did that step, we had 3 action items, which were to clarify our motivation and ikigai, to develop confidence, and then create the rituals and space for being creative. Yesterday, defining the winning offer, or I'm sorry, day 2, focusing the avatar. We started with step 1 was to research yourself and your market to learn about the avatar. Step 2 was to map the frictions, pains, and desires. Step 3, or action 3, is to actually profile the ideal customer. Yesterday, when we did define the winning offer, first thing we did is define the transformation. Then we defined fears and objections, and then we nailed the offer with our short pitch and long pitch. So you see how I'm literally practicing what I'm preaching here to create an experience, a learning experience where you go through this exact framework of, day 0 through 2, day 3 through 6, and then your 3 bonuses. So that's how I'm literally just demonstrating as an example here. And if we go back to like yesterday as an example, this worksheet, I'm creating visual aids that help you achieve the action items. So these study guides or visual aids or models can help you. So when we were defining our winning offer, we defined the transformation right here. We defined the fears and objections right here, and then we nailed the offer right here. So I'm not just talking about what to do, like what the actions we need to do are. I'm also giving tools and resources to make it easier to put things into action and to implement what you learn, which is exactly what this is. So you know who your learning avatar is. You know the result or the transformation they want. What are the 3 phases? And then in order to achieve phase 1, if you had to break it down into 3 steps, what would those be? And I'm going to give you a pro tip here. One of the things that's really helpful is to actually work with verbs. So you'll notice here, my steps all have a verb: commit to, step into, focus, define, create, design, launch, price, traffic. These are all action oriented. So we're not just spouting theory, we are going through a step-by-step journey to help somebody achieve a result. And when we get inside of these, you know, the individual action items are also start with verbs. So in day 0, calendar the training, like put it in your calendar, commit to taking action. And 3, set your course launch date. These are all verbs. So it's about progress and momentum towards a desired outcome. So that, and just by the way, this is almost a bonus in this training, because you don't even have to have this part figured out to launch your course and start pre-selling it. If you have a strong outline, you can basically get this far, go into your course building tool or your learning management system, build a course with a future start date, and then sell it. And so you have it here, you've literally created your product. And let's say, and I'm not saying to sell something that doesn't exist. It's something that you're going to create as you go. You can be open about that. You can deliver it live, like I'm doing right now. I'm literally creating the content live with real people, so that you can do that with a paid course as well. We're doing it daily. You could do it weekly. You could slow it down and take 9 weeks to do it. It's up to you. But that is how to create a course outline. And then, you know, I do recommend you do this if you can, so that you just have the confidence that your brain can switch from outline mode to action mode. So that's it's just like writing a book. Imagine if you were writing a nonfiction book, if you didn't have a table of contents kind of figured out to start with. It doesn't mean you won't necessarily change things as you go, but by having these down to the action level figured out, you can switch your brain over into creativity mode and just teach and make worksheets and things like that. So that is the training I have for you today to create your course outline. It's also called a syllabus or curriculum. Think in terms of thirds. Phase it out. Sometimes I find it's easier to do the phases after I do the steps, because then it becomes clear, like, oh, phase 1 is kind of like this foundational thing that we have to get together. Phase 2 is this other thing. And so you don't always have to do all this in order. You can kind of jump around and be like, well, I know at some point they're going to have to, you know, put it on the counter and commit to doing the training. And I just put that in here, even if I haven't figured out what to call this step yet. But it's kind of like an editing process where you work on it and you keep making it better and better. And then, you know, when you're happy with your outline, you're really good to go and actually start teaching the course live like I'm doing now, or going into your home office studio or wherever to create the content. So that's it. Well, for today's training, and tomorrow is going to be really awesome. We're going to get into designing a success system so that people, as they go through your course, have an extremely high likelihood of finishing it and being happy with it, and also for you to make more money with it. So I'm really excited about the training tomorrow. But today was all about creating your course outline. You're literally inside. I'm literally practicing what I'm preaching here in terms of how this is a challenge, but it's also a course came together using the exact system I'm teaching you here today. So I want to thank everybody for coming on the live call. And if you're watching this later, this is super important in terms of time to get to work and do this slide. Once you figure all this out, I actually like to name my course at the end. So once I really figure out the customer and the transformation, and I've got my mechanism to get them there, then the course name becomes clear. A lot of people try to figure out the course name in the beginning, which is okay, and maybe you do that, but I find it's actually a lot easier to do once I've actually nailed the course outline. All right, so I'm Chris from LifterLMS. I hope you enjoyed today's training about outlining your course. Go turn this off and go create your outline right now. And I can't wait to see you on the next training, where this is the next one is the last day of our 5-day training. There's some bonuses that come after that you're going to get access to. Let me get the link for you real quick, and I'll put that in the chat. If you have not gotten the replay videos, we have those for you. So this is actually the course page. It's in the chat. And also, if you're watching this somewhere else, I'll put it below the video. But go click on that link, and then you'll find your way into the course so that you can watch the replay and get access to your bonuses. So that's it for today on building your course outline. Take action, make it happen, and I'll see you in the next training.